Now, we're now live in shit hot digital stereo. Right, so here we are, back in Northland, and also Vestisland. So, the terrain for all of these regions is Arctic, for your discomfort and convenience. So let's unpause and go through a routine of trying to get money and prestige by occasionally going raiding when people start whinging at me. Hopefully, before, and this is important, everyone turns Christian and I can't do this. Right. I can raise a maximum of 527 people. Let's go and see how Orkney is doing. Orkney is doing terribly. Wow. I think it's time to go and declare war on Orkney. And let's use subjugation, not just raiding. Right. Let's turn the thing down. Let's raise the ships. Insert on ship. Ship over there. I didn't actually think to check on Orkney's allies. Maybe I should do that while I discover how badly wrong this is going to go. Oh dear, you're allied with the Chief of Agdir. Well, that's exciting. I'll just have to get there quickly enough to make it Orkney's problem. And only Orkney's problem. Well, you know, what is life if we don't actually try and cock this up terribly in our first attempt? I'm pretty sure it didn't actually take a week to sail all around Iceland. I just like to point that out.
In which direction do you think it didn't take a week? Think it should be quicker than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, particularly since I'm not sailing all round Iceland, I am, nipping round just one half. Right. Right, off we go over there.
Yeah, I would reckon a day or two. Assuming you can. Well, depends on the wind, of course, but assuming you can make kind of 4 knots or so.
Yeah, but you
you're
can also
looking
row.
at a couple of 100 miles.
Yeah, you can also row, so you can make, at least a couple of knots when inshore, if the wind isn't cooperating. Okay, bloody English stupid types of... Okay, yeah.
And the overseas thing is just ib short thing.
Okay.
I haven't ib, not ib.
No one ever uses that.
No.
My son is being a good steward. Hooray, that's nice. I'd just like to complain about, pre-metric weights and measures making no bloody sense. And there's a reason no one knows what the centesimo is, because no one ever bloody used it, because it was approximately 1 million lira to the pound. Back in prehistory, when we had lira and, pounds. Right. Hello, everybody. It's time for you to wade your way a sea in Norway. Let's put myself in charge of this army for the morale boost. Okay, well, the enemy are running away. Let's discover. Right, so here we are. We are besieging the one and only whatnot. Well, not the one and only whatnot. One of the major settlements. Right, so exciting things are going to be trying to find the enemy army to fight them, unless I can just do this by 100% occupation. If I can't do it by 100% occupation, finding the enemy to fight them before, and this is important, their potential allies turn up. Right, let's make the light slash slightly faster on the grounds that, sieges are still boring. I mean, Orkney tribe is kind of on fire. There are that lot, which is good. Right, where are they going to go? Are they going to go to my capital? This is, after all, traditional. Or are they going to sail back up here with their 3 people? Oh, I have built a market village. I'm really lucky. That will help deal with my income problem and my expenses problem. Right, we've besieged Orkney tribe. That's got us 29%. Where are you going? Are you going off to thingy? Let's just check. When I go and look at thingy, he really does just have Orkney. Right, good. Just checking. Everyone else is attacking it too, which is entertaining, but I am the lead besieger. Go on, I'm going to assault it, because stop assaulting it. That went quite wrong. Still, everyone else took lots of losses too, so, worse things happen on Friday the 13th, etc. If I had any idea what I was doing, it would help. Oh, they're up in Northland. Excellent, that's just what we want them to be. Oh, 100%. Excellent. Release the otter. Enforce our demands. I have usurped the chiefdom of Orkney from Thorgil Froni. Hooray, we won. I'm just going to zoom in enough to check that. Right, can I dismiss my army? Let a day pass and see if that improves things. Right. And we can settle you in there. This has given us a massive 217 prestige. Whoa. Need to let my levies recover a bit.
This, of course, being not that you have unhappy vassals, but just that you've killed them.
I just don't have any people. And unfortunately, although I now get vassals listed as potentially part of my army levies, and I realise I haven't got the cable. Do you want me to plug in a cable?
I could do. I might want to do some washing up at some point. Maybe I'll trust you.
Thank you. The TV remotes are all over there. But yes, I now have approximately half the number of people. And while I can in theory levy vassals, in practice the number of vassals I can levy is apparently 0, so, you know, great, I guess. I think I now own very fractionally more money than I did before. I do have enough to build probably a war camp, which would get me an extra 40 light infantry. I think I'm better off though Waits trying to save up to get to 500 piety prestige, and then raise a big army and go and squash it. Right, let's go and see how everyone else is doing. So Vestisland isn't doing fantastically either.
So are you still in a position where you have no vassals, or do you now
I technically have one vassal now.
Do you? Ooh.
Yes. Well, it says, yeah.
That's not you.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Or is that?
Yeah,
that
that is
you?
me.
You've just suddenly grown a white beard.
Oh God, I think I'm over 50 now. Yeah, I'm 50.
Right.
So my wife is my vassal, but.
Oh right, she's the Baron of.
No, she's just Bjorg of Northland.
Okay. Sorry, I thought it briefly showed up.
But yeah, it says from vassals 0/0. So, you know, I have vassals, I just can't do anything with them.
Oh yes, she's got a red ring there.
Yeah.
Is that the same bird? Freya Kirkevik versus...
No, that's not my...
Right, your vassal isn't your wife.
My vassal is...
She just looks very similar to your wife.
Her. Right, yes, so she's the ruler of Orkney.
She's a baron in Orkney. So what is there in Orkney then?
I can raise a ship. What is there in Orkney?
Ah right, she runs the... There's a tribe that's currently on fire.
Yes.
And it's not very useful.
Yes.
And there's a church, which is what she's the... So she's the priestess or whatever.
Of the church.
Something more complicated. Well, at least something more Nordic.
Yeah. So how are... So Shetland is potentially a target soon, and so is possibly Faroes. About Nordland.
Just to confuse things and own both Nordland and Northland.
Well, yeah. Getting close. Can I actually... I can't. He's going to be too far away still, isn't he? I don't have a valid casus belli. Okay. Right, what about you lot? You're too scary. You're currently too scary, but will not be soon. But anyway, I have a bunch of targets that I can get to in the North Sea first, provided, and this is important, I can survive long enough to go and do something about this. I can raise lots of fleets, I just can't put anyone in them. So what pacts have I got? Just non-aggression pacts. Oh yeah, man. Oh, a small blob. Ah, not a big blob. No. No. Nothing to see here. My seeress, Björk rather, tells me that her efforts in increasing religious fervour among the people have met with great success. A small army of zealots have converged at Norðland tribe, ready to serve me. Northland tribe, sorry. Now I simply need to attack some suitable infidel before my new recruits wander off in disgust. Praise Odin.
So I'm not quite sure what you can do with this.
Yeah.
How many have you got? I can't quite
Got 300 there.
Right, so, yeah.
Let's
That, in my experience, is about typical.
I'm just briefly going to look at the religion.
I'm not sure you have any, right, infidels or indeed suitable casus belli.
I think everyone in Scotland is a bit scary. What about you? What about neither of us?
Well, yes, it probably doesn't have to be a religious casus belli, does it? I'll check. But in my experience is that they end up just getting pissed off and doing whatever they do. But like they're a convenient 300 strong army in case you happen to want one at the time.
So can I?
So those are in addition to all the troops you can raise anyway.
Yeah. Which is currently. I can raise another 300, so I can raise 6.
They will sit around for a year, I think. But obviously, I think they might stay around for a year plus the length of war if you declare the right kind of war.
Right, so let's find. Right, you're quite small. And let's also check on your hills.
All right. If not you, what the wiki says is, if not used in a religious war within 1 year (brackets plus or minus 3 months), or explicitly disbanded, they will leave costing piety. So strictly, what you can do is disband them, and that doesn't I suspect cost you anything. But on the other hand, 300 free troops that you can do something with in the next 9 months.
Right. I think I'm going to raise some troops. Raise some ships. Damn it.
Or did you forget to declare war first?
I have forgot to declare war. Let's see if this will break.
You'll have to dismiss your
levies.
My
levies, yes. Right, hang on.
Not like any time has passed since you raised them.
Military. From Demesne. Dismiss those levies. Right, find target. Hello, target.
Ideally, it should be a target that's of a different religion, but I think they will quite happily help with a same religion target. Just you have to remember to dismiss them within a year plus or minus 3 months. They will cost you piety by being pissed off. I think.
I forgot to check him for pacts. Right. I want to embark you. Why can't I embark you?
Because
right.
they're programmed to move.
Right.
If you turn off the movement, then I suspect you can embark.
Right. Let's go the long way around Iceland again. I mean, this is mostly how, people probably got around anyway. Iceland doesn't have much in the way of roads, certainly not, inside the island. It goes around the edge. Glue 650 of your finest troops. Shove you over to Shetland. Well, sorry, it's not Shetland yet. Hjaltland. On the plus side, right now, all the names should be Old Norse, and therefore I should be able to pronounce them on a good day, with a following wind. Oh, my daughter-in-law wants to kill me. Because she wants her son to be chief, her husband to be chief, that's the word I'm looking for. So what is there in Shetland anyway? There's a thingy. Right, I do have the small problem that I have to get straight out of a ship and go and declare war on people. Well, this might be comedy. It is hilly. It is just possible that they have... Right. Rather more skill. Hey, they have someone with like 8 skill. This is like cheating. Oops.
You almost won that battle.
I almost won that battle. Well, I get...
almost isn't really good enough.
Yes. Oh no, I've been captured. Right. Has my army completely disappeared?
Well, I'm not sure what else it can do. Well, you could check on your troops-ometer.
I will check on my troops-ometer. So there's...
Yep, I think you have no raised armies anymore.
Yep. Right. I don't think I can recover from that. Well, let's discover what happens when you lose more piety than you actually have. My daughter is now my regent. Right, hello West Iceland. Didn't I marry someone to you? Is that 6 people? Or is that 6 ships? That is 6 people. Can I raise a ship? I can raise far more ship than is really sensible. Right, on balance, I'm not going to put anyone in charge of these armies as such. Let's just check. Right, there really is nothing I can do here except... Right. Well, I'm no longer imprisoned, but I can go into hiding. Can I? Okay, I can create someone commander, but possibly shouldn't. I'm not going to try imprisoning people. I don't think this is going to go well. Right. So, Right, noted. Need much bigger army in order to get straight off ship and do something. So maybe take advantage of landed places that aren't going well. Find landed places that aren't doing well. I'm tempted to give one of my chiefdoms to my son.
So what is the current war over?
That is a very good question. I should find this out.
Well, actually...
It's standard. It's just a subjugation war.
So... what's the consequence if he wins?
I'm subjugated. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm contemplating giving one of my chiefdoms to my son, in the hope that this means that he will...
Targets all land in a de jure kingdom held by another pagan. On success, all holdings are vassalised or seized, and top-level non-titular titles are seized if they are of equal or higher rank than the invader's top title. So, your invader, is he also a count? Yes.
Yeah.
So I think if he wins, you lose all your titles.
Yes,
and
I
all
think
your titles are counted.
I think if I give one to my son, that doesn't help.
He takes all of your titles in a de jure kingdom, but I think all your titles are in de jure Norway, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
So if you give your son titles, then he, not being a target of the war, will he will survive, but I don't think that helps you very much as a player. The game over page actually says you lose all titles without dying, and the game is unable to transfer play to another ruler of your dynasty.
Right,
so I think if you grant your son as many titles as you can, then and then surrender.
Right, I can't give him any more, apparently.
You might want to allow some time to pass in order to make sure that all takes effect. Right, so now there's an international boundary down the middle of Iceland.
Yes.
You can now check that you can give grant anymore, but you probably possibly can't because double kind.
Yeah. So you think I should now surrender?
I mean, I don't know that it loses you a lot not to surrender, but you're going to be surrendering pretty soon.
It's true.
Like, that battle is probably not going to go in your favour.
It's very true. Let's surrender.
So I think what happens now is your current player loses all of his titles, and I think the game will then go, well, there is still someone of my dynasty alive who is landed.
Yep.
And transfer him to being the
whatnot.
The player character.
If not, we have to start again, and this time will be West Iceland. Okay,
right.
No, that didn't work.
The score of 53, you have not accomplished anything of note.
I haven't even beaten the Babenbergers of Austria, whom I've never heard of. Oh no, sorry, House Babenberger, not the more famous von Babenbergs of Austria. The cadet branch of House Capet. with minor titles in Franconia. Probably wouldn't remember them if it wasn't for the most famous family with a similar name. Right, okay. Right. Well, that was a learning experience, and the experience that we learned was that's quite hard. Right, let's try this again. This time, the slightly less hard rock version. Right, Viking Age. Custom game set up. Let's stoat our way over to Vestisland, who is apparently no less tricky, but we'll see. He does at least start with rather more people. Right. Lineman mode is enabled. Let's start the game. You're going to have to do chapters again. Raiding, priest can marry. Okay. Zip back into realm view. Right, so who am I? I am Chief of Vestisland and Thingy. My stats are very nearly as dire as everyone else's. I have an heir, which is my kinsman steward. I have 496 people. Which apparently turns out to be less than them. How, what? Maybe it just, shits on you to start with. Fine, okay. Right, ruler is unmarried. Can we find anyone with
So I would suggest that you try to get yourself into a non-aggression pact with the other half of Iceland.
I think I might want to be in a non-aggression pact with the other half of Iceland, yes. This is certainly a thing. Right. I think my ambition should be to become King of Norway because, no, first of all it should be to get married, because that's at least something that's easy to fix. So, council, you say. My council are generally a bit less useless. So, minor titles, you say. Designated regent. It's probably going to be you.
There's a video because the timings all get shown as times from now backwards rather than times from the start forwards. And obviously
that would be helpful. So, where can we fabricate claims on? Nowhere really that we don't already have claims on. Let's try fabricating that. So, let's try getting my martial training troops. Let's build a legend. Right, you get to study technology in Northumbria. Right, you get to build zeal there. Right.
So you'll probably have to muck around sorting out marriages between you.
Yes.
And it may take a while to organise this.
It's true.
Meanwhile, you want to not be much weaker than them.
Yep. Let's see if... Oh, I need to nominate a successor. Right, my steward, who is my kinstate. So, right, I'm going to be increasing my levies a bit, so they're not much bigger than me.
I presume your neighbour across the border doesn't have a convenient female relative.
No. Right, I want prestige more than I want money. Okay, so we're married. That's improved. That should improve our state marshal a bit. Yep. I need a new ambition, so let's try having a son. My wife is now allied with me, which is at least nice. She has 245.
Yeah, okay. I mean, isn't she? Oh, okay. She's not your vassal. Where is she then? Where is she at? Oh, right.
So she's a vassal of Orkney. know these are slowly squeaking up. So maybe run time a little bit faster. Let's go and see if there's anyone who's utterly wet and a weed on the other side of Norway. Not you. Not you. Not you. Slightly you, but not currently.
But like, if you're taking on someone in mountains, you're going to need
I'm going to need twice as many, yes.
supply.
Really not. No. In a bit, because that's not mountainous. What about these bits over here? You're probably not going to be. So that's forest. Right. So I can declare war on you. But you're okay, you're forest. Okay, so I probably don't want to start off with you anyway. So let's keep an eye on Nordland. They look like they're going off to raid. So hopefully if they cock it up, I can... Right, now he wants to become King of Norway. So, I'm trying to remember when Iceland was originally settled, but I'm sure, thinking about this, my great-grandparents here should be people that were should be the great Norse settlers here, in theory.
So, Wikipedia says the settlement of Iceland started in about 874.
So we're a bit early here. In which case, why am I not Alv the Great?
Indeed, Ingólfr is, yes, Ingólfr Arnarsson. Are you Arnarsson?
Arnisson, yes.
First permanent settler in Iceland is generally considered to be the Norwegian chieftain named Ingólfr Arnarsson and his wife Halveig Fröðadóttir. According to Landnámabók, he threw 2 carved pillars overboard as he neared land, vowing to settle wherever they landed. He then sailed along the coast Reykjavik.
But there are other settlers. So Ingólfr is fine, but why aren't we playing as Alv the Great? She's one of the great settlers of Iceland. This is very disappointing. I mean, the trope of throwing things overboard and seeing where they land crops up in several sagas, which I will not trouble to name right now because I can't remember. Also, it's not easy or trivial to reread them because I don't have Penguin Classics on my e-reader. Excellent.
Yeah. However, archaeological finds in Iceland suggest settlement may have started somewhat earlier. So, maybe he was there in 867.
Yeah. I mean, Landnámabók is a little bit ex post facto. Right, what is banner of my next door neighbour?
written 2 to 3 centuries off the settlement.
Yeah.
So,
So, how are we doing?
so yes, obviously, as presented in CK2 is the truth. Determined by exhaustive research of reading the configuration files, Ison was actually settled in 867. Having Cape Vested units the same.
Does my wife actually like me? Well, she doesn't dislike me. It's good. I don't like my wife. Why don't I like my wife? Right. This might go terribly because Norðland rather, is being attacked by Nidaros, sorry. And currently they're losing. Now, what I want is for Nidaros to not quite win, but to weaken them extremely considerably, so that I can take my 559 people. Could you look up what the penalties are for attacking in Arctic terrain, please?
So is the terrain actually...
The terrain is labelled Arctic.
Arctic, right. I'll have a look.
This is not going great for the army of the Northland, which is not going great in turn for dealing with my neighbours. My spy master got captured. I mean, in one way, great. My next door neighbours are down to 380 troops, and they're sitting in my territory. But unfortunately, neither of us have 559 troops. I'm a bit confused by the convention of using just the D in here, because it's definitely neither Ross at this point. I am pretty clear on that. I'm pretty sure that I remember this. So yeah, Jylland and Sjáland is probably, yes, more or less contemporary. That's probably alright. I'm just looking at the sort of post thing. So yes, more or less in a period when we still have Mercia. We've got Wessex. We're a little bit away from Edgar uniting England, becoming Rex Anglorum. I think it's Edgar that's the first Rex Anglorum, but please don't quote me on these things. I did pass Anglo-Saxon history, but the names were not exactly my strong point.
So the wiki does not say anything about Arctic terrain, which, based on what they do say, indicates that it's equivalent to plains.
Right.
For battle purposes.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think it's nowhere near as good for supply purposes.
Yeah.
But this is probably not a problem given you're dealing with armies in the hundreds rather than the thousands.
Indeed. I mean, judging by some of the stuff up near Perm, you get a very harsh winter that means you can sustain maybe a couple of thousand troops in the area, but, you know, at the moment this is not my problem.
Yes, I think for practical purposes, Iceland is treated as flat.
Yeah. This seems weird. I mean, given that, you know, all sort of sources and everything about Iceland rather say it's a bloody pain to get around, and you know, particularly since there aren't really horses out here. And I mean, there are a bit, but you know, basically the whole thing is a bit of a pain. So one thing that does occur to me is it is just possible that Nidaros will win, but they'll be severely weakened, and so I might be able to go in and attack them before they get a secure foothold. Right. Sorry, that was me leaping on the pause button.
I mean, they'll be on the wrong side of the sea, but...
Yeah.
Do you even have a useful Casus Belli at the moment? Okay, right, you have got the subjugation, don't you?
And that would take all of Nidaros. But the problem is I would have to take all of Nidaros, which is a bit scary. I mean, maybe my wife would come in with me?
Probably.
Which, you know, could get me...
If her liege isn't
Yeah.
Nidaros, but I do...
Her liege is Orkney. Which would take me up to 700.
Yeah, I would be a bit dubious about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel that this is not an obvious win.
Yeah, I don't think...
that your better bet is... Like, what you've got next to you... What's essentially happened is that your next door neighbour is now 3 counties rather than 2,
Yeah.
and one of them's miles away.
Yes.
So I don't think this is not an obvious, huge opportunity. My inclination would be still to attempt to achieve peace with your neighbour, and ideally alliance.
Yes. Well, you know, I'm working on trying to have a son.
Yes.
Or a child that I can, you know, children that I can marry off. Failing that, I hope to, you know, raise an army from somewhere. So is there anything that I can sensibly build? Oh, technology. I should have a look at my technology. Technology, we cannot has it. Right. I still have Commissioner Runestone as an ambition. Well, ambition, a thing in intrigue that I've selected as decision that I've selected as being interesting. I don't have any threats, but I don't really have any opportunities either. Let's just go on a quick trawl of nearby rulers. I've been at peace for too long. Right, fine.
So, yes. The problem with raiding Nidaros, of course, is that will leave them hostile to you, which would probably mean a bit harder to get marriages for a couple of years. But on the other hand, only some of their troops will be easily raised in Iceland, because they'll have to raise each county separately.
Yeah.
Which means that only those that can be raised in Iceland will actually be a problem, and the others they'll have to bring in by sea, and by the time you see a ship on the horizon you just piss off back to Vestisland and go, what, me? Nothing to do with me, love. Nothing to do with me, love. I wasn't raiding your tribe.
Yeah. Let's raise my personal levies. Let's switch them on to looting.
Yet actually put them into a ship.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well stated. Right. You lot.
Yes, of course, going off and raiding someone you can't even interact with diplomatically. It's
Yeah.
probably convenient.
Not that I'm going to get big returns out of. See if we can do anything there. Okay, right,
So
fine.
you may be still nonetheless raiding.
I'm pretty sure on that one I'm not, because
Oh, right, yes, it's nothing available.
I thought I'd looked at the numbers, but apparently I can't add up, so, you know. Let's get some glue together. Do I have
You
anyone?
really have no one better than yourself. You have one.
Apparently no one else is showing up as such.
Are they councillor and busy doing something else?
Quite possibly, yes. And I could not lead it myself. So this is a better target.
Slightly. Not quite, I think you keep raiding until your troops actually leave the province, so you can set them moving before you've got all of the loot.
Right. So I've got the maximum loot I can get out of that. I will stop before I get to Nidaros on account of the fact that, yeah, states. This is tricky. We have arrived and we are raiding. Right, let's set you going over there. Yeah, we are. Yes. Oh well.
I'm sure you can do it. Point one.
Point one.
It is still counting
It
down.
is still counting down, just it's quite slow. Oh well, I'll leave 0.1 things behind. I'll just have to deal with it.
leave the locals with a tiny amount of food.
It's true, it is. Slightly reliant on them not coming to get me. But they're not coming yet.
They're smaller than you are, you're in a defensive position.
It's true.
In mountains. They would lose if they got into the front. They are discouraging you from going back north.
Yes, but that's fine, I don't want to go back north.
You've already got everything that county has to offer.
Yes. Right. Let's go to the sea. And let's ship our way back to Iceland. Right. In which we have excitement, adventure and really wild things. My current levy is more than my demesne levy. What? Is that because I'm raiding or what? Let's have a look in here. Yeah.
That seems. Oh, you have 654.
559. Yes.
I'm not sure. Maybe. Well, I think while you have troops raised, if the number of troops you can raise drops, they don't just drop dead out in the field.
Yes.
So you can, if that suggests that you're.
Hooray.
That suggests that your number of available troops has been dropping for some reason, which is not necessarily a good thing, but.
No, because the number that I had, the 568 or whatever, was about the number I started off with. I just had a very brief boost for some reason. Actually, it was less than that. It was like a bit under 550 when I set out. So let's go and see if anyone is. Okay, you've got lots of troops. You have more troops than I do. More troops than I do. More troops than I do. Ditto.
In particular single counties, you're liable to come ashore straight into the arms.
Well, no, I come ashore next door and then walk in. At least.
It's only islands that you're really.
It's only islands that are really, really, really a problem. I'm to try to avoid going to war with Norway because it will probably piss Orkney because it will piss off my wife. Right, and I've got enough to raid them, but not enough to attack them, unless I get a boost from one of my staff getting more people. sensibly build. Not really. Right, let's tick the lifetime a little bit faster while we wait for things to happen. Like, you know, my wife getting pregnant, that'd be nice. Although, frankly, at this point, I don't know we have to send packets of sperm across the sea, because she's in Orkney and I'm not.
It may limit your ability to have children.
It may. Just going to, like, okay, so that's what happens. I can just pay for a divorce. Take a concubine. It's very un-Icelandic. I'm not going to take a concubine. I can't help but feel that this is not in the spirit of the Althing. Right, whoops, I've lost another spy master. Let's see if there's anyone that's joined my court. Right, let's invite a lot of people to court in the hope that this will improve the situation. Right, let's get a new steward. I've got commanders that aren't also completely useless. Right. Okay. Well, it's a pity my half-sister's been taken into concubinage by King Hastein of Namsborg, but he's much scarier than me, so...
Does that not give you any ability to get an alliance or such like with him?
Not really.
We'll grade out form alliance, so no, you don't have anything. It didn't get you non-aggression pact.
Anyway, it's considered sort of a bit of an insult to be taking them as concubines, so... Hold a great block, lose 50 gold. No, thank you.
So I think that means you finally reached 50 gold.
Yes. And the time of year was right. I think the month was greater than November. Right, my levies have gone down, back to about 500. How's neither of us doing? Scarily. We do have a son, so as soon as I can persuade my wife to, sprogulate.
How old is she?
27. So there shouldn't be any problem there, as such. And obviously I feel that one thing that you should be able to do with this is to go to Byzantium and become captain of the Varangian Guard. But this seems to be a bit on the tricksy side. Hooray, my wife is pregnant. Excellent.
Yes, the wiki doesn't suggest that there is any actual penalty to fertility from not being in the same place.
I have no idea
what we're arrange to meet up often enough.
What we're doing, sending packets of sperm across the North Sea. You're currently unmarried and you are my half-sister. Right, wow.
You probably want one who's related to you. I don't know if a half-sister's close enough.
Well, with other children I'll try for betrothal.
No, he doesn't like it because he doesn't want to end up with a non-aggression pact with you.
It's funny.
Good age, but still the political concerns.
Yes. Right. Well, let's.
Yes, it may of course be that the later son is less problematic. Maybe that he's not being.
No political concerns. Oh, right out. Okay, right, well, let's see if that improves when I have, my own sprog, which will undoubtedly be at some point. Right, well, it's November again, I can hold Great Blot. Yay. spend 5 gold to improve my wife's health and maybe become either charitable or kind, which will probably improve things. No, it's just lost me 5 gold. Okay. Mostly upgraded people. Right, been at peace for too long. Off we go. Let's raise some people. Clink. Well, it's possible to sail around the 2 bits of West Iceland in less than geological time.
Their ports are on the same sea area. So.
Yes, let's just check. Right, that's still a terrible place to go. Right. You lot get to go over here, and we get to go reading again.
There's more time to have it.
How do you type an eth?
Should be Ultra P.
No, that's the one.
Oh, sorry, that's one. Ultra D. Sorry, I didn't do it.
That's more like it. Let's go and inspect Sprogling. Sprogling is a perfectly generic Sprogling. Right. Let's see if we can find the youngest Sprogling and betroth him to... Yeah.
Maybe worth trying to improve diplomatic relations, but I don't know if you can beat political concerns.
Can't assign my Chancellor a new job for a bit anyway. Off we go to Narmadal. The D in Narmadal is there because it's the D of Dale.
So yes, the political concerns are not blocking.
Right.
They are worth -5. So in particular, they are precisely cancelled out by a +100 opinion.
Right.
But then there's still a -2 base reluctance that you need to get over. Which is roughly which is precisely cancelled out by the age of bride benefit if the bride is of the best possible age. I don't know if you then need an additional +1 from somewhere. So if the daughter in question turns out well, her skills can give you between -2 and +2, obviously.
Right. So it's worth trying again when it gets to.
So basically, I think if you do some serious opinion improving and she turns out well,
it might work.
Yeah.
Abort. Damn it. The movement locked. Let's try and head straight for the sea. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. We'll see. Hello, I'm trying to run away to the sea. Excellent.
You kept your troops.
I kept most of my troops, which is the important bit. Still, I did do a little bit of raiding before we got squashed. And I'd probably in fact stop off for a little bit of light raiding as we pass. Yes, you don't seem to lose many troops while raiding unless you're besieging somewhere successfully or the army turn up. Right, back in the sea with you. And back off to Sutherland. South Iceland. And we gain slightly gold and slightly prestige. And don't have penalties for being at peace for too long, and only slightly got our troops mangled by someone with a larger army. Right, let's nail the envoy's hats to the head because that gets me 20 prestige. I could do with 20 prestige. Yes, Icelandic sagas often contain everyone's genealogy because this is very, very important. Because it's very important for people to trace their family back to the families named in Landnámabók. This is exactly like the first families of the United States of America, only like, more than 500 years earlier. And unlike in the United States of America, where they have a tremendous colonialism problem, Iceland was full of bugger all. But they do have a almost different tremendous colonialism problem in that they tended to, go raiding and enslave Irish people. Possibly also people of colour, but it's never very clear. Now, I'm not going to hold a great plot just because I have 50 money. I need that money to go raiding with. Given the prevalence of which the Norse mention enslaving people with black hair, we think it's probably Irish people and not black people, on the grounds that not that many of them made it that far north. Certainly not to rural settlements that were likely invaded by the Norse, as opposed to the woman from Africa that was buried in York in around the 4th century CE, which was a perfectly normal bit of Romans getting everywhere, and citizens of the empire being able to travel wherever the hell they pretty much liked. But Ireland was probably never settled by the Romans. Ooh, one of my children lacks a guardian. My niece lacks a guardian. Hello. Right, you are starting to have some stewardship. Let's assign you a guardian who isn't completely hopeless at stewardship. Right, in fact, there we are. Let's see if we can get you engaged to anyone good. Like another chief that we could ally with. Let's just check. Easy there. So, right. Yeah. So, allying with someone in Denmark does not seem like a terrible idea. Right, there we go. Okay, don't want to form an alliance. Fine. Replacing vassals happens very slowly. Pretty slowly. Maybe it's just because I have so few vassals, so there's nothing going on. Just check that neither Norse is still going strong, which it is. Yeah, they're probably going to try and plan to invade me, aren't they? Well, states. And something's happened to one of my commanders. Right, well, there we are. There's someone who's not completely hopeless. Still don't want to hold Great Blot. Let's put you on improving diplomatic relations. Although you are sufficiently poor that there is a reasonable chance you'll sabotage relations with them instead. So runestone requires me to have 100 gold. Oh, there's a known plot. The Marshal of Gutland is planning to kill my kinsman. Right, so you're my niece. Try and bring up the next generation of Sprogulons. Right. Let's just see. I still can only nominate him as my successor. And we have Agnatic, Cognatic, Gavelkind. Right. Apparently the defensive pact opposing Louis Carling has been disbanded. Right, so we've improved relations with Naddoðr. So, how much does he like me? Got a way to go there.
I thought they printed one character per number up or down, but it's clearly not doing that in either direction, given that there was more than 5 pluses against opinion and more than 5 minuses against political concern.
Yes. Right, been at peace for too long. Right. You getting a ship? Ship the ship over here. Talk looting. Okay, fine, just going to bot the army. Let's go back to a sensible view. Right, so are there any bits of Swithria that are nice to raid? Give this a go. I'm going to go over here, raid them, and possibly nip straight back into the ship. So what about either of these places? They're not completely terrifying. Like Tirconnell. Here I can hold Great Blot. Let's see if this even slightly works, or whether they'll just squash us like a bug. Okay, they're going for squashing us like a bug. Let's briefly see how this plays out. Yeah, I won a battle. That wasn't particularly what I was there for.
No. Generally, if you're raiding, battles are a loss, whether you win them or not.
Yes. Right, anyway, what I really wanted was this.
Was that lovely, lovely loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably worth spending a few troops on.
Wasn't very many either. Right, you're the dove.
So where are those 48 troops that probably not to worry?
Back in the boat. You lot. Trixie Hobbit says. I'm watching out in case these lot come over to try and squish me. Okay, I thought that's what they were doing. They were busy having... Hooray, we've nicked some technology from someone. Right, okay, we're done there. Yeah, right. Well, how scary are you? Well, scary enough that I don't want to risk walking into your army, so I'm going back to my boat. Shipping everyone back to Iceland. Technology. Oh, gods, right, so.
Yes, of course, you don't naturally get any technology points as a mere count.
Yes. So.
You don't have any feudal vassals, it's probably a long time before you get any feudal vassals.
Ditto. Oh, I kind of have. Right, let's improve my majesty, because I could do with the piety and prestige gain. I think I save up for more majesty. Off you go back to West Iceland. At which point we go, can we declare war on Tyrconnell? Right, so we can declare war on them just as soon as I get everyone home. Right. Briefly. Right. Let's see if we can go to war with Tyrconnell, bearing in mind that they are the plains. Right. Declare war. Right. Okay, secure there. Military. Raise levies. Invite my ally in. Who is my wife? Excellent, my wife is coming to join me in my war. I forgot to load people in my ships in the right order, but never mind.
Oh, you're going to war while I'm looking.
Yeah. Tyrconnell is not doing very well. Mostly because I just went to its capital and set it on fire.
Unfortunately, this means if you take it over, the capital will be on fire.
Yeah, but, you know...
You're hoping your wife sends someone down from wherever she lives.
Orkney. Oh yeah, and I've already got a massive war score because I hold some keepy prisoner from the bit 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you actually brought some prisoners back from your
I
raiding
did,
trip,
yes, yes. I hadn't got around to processing them because I was like, well, you know, they look miserable, right? So, you lot, let's bring you ashore next door. So that at least I can recover the morale of my troops before, and this is important, go into battle, or at least I can recover things by... so, why are you unhappy?
They've been away from home for too long.
Because they've been away from home for too long, right. So I think we are now basically pretty chirpy. Those are planes. It's the best we can get.
503 to 168. If you don't have a terrible commander, which you don't, should be fine.
Right, we have
Yes, is unfortunately on fire.
yeah, and that got me 8% war score, which is good. So, right. I'm not going to assault it because that would go badly. It's on pause because, you know, time needs time to happen in. Yes, I wonder why Tyrconnell's on fire. I can't think of any reason why it might be on fire at the moment. Not at all. Not one. Hello. So what's that bit of water there, other than soggy? 83%. Right, so let's go and kick the Tyrconnellese army on the grounds that this is much more likely to be useful. Ooh, even it's on planes, that's even better. It's taken us up to 91%. I have to hope that...
Maybe worth seeing if they would take us. If they surrender.
That's true.
Right. No, okay.
Really not.
Cough meaningfully in your wife's general direction.
Yeah.
I think you will gradually get ticking war score. Oh, here they come.
Hooray!
They're not your wife, the enemy.
The enemy, excellent.
Like.
the enemy will do just
The
fine.
wife's busy.
My wife's going to be pregnant again. %99% war score, fine. Where are you guys going? Probably a long way away. Right, well let's zip back to sit. Oh, good lord. Who the hell are you? Why did you end up back there? 100% war score. Release the otter. Right. Hooray. Right.
Now you need to find someone who will take that church off your hands, probably.
It's
There is
true.
actually another thing you can do to it, which
Yes.
I think, let me look this up. Oh, it's probably not a good idea, but nomadic rule. Nomadic and tribal rulers can pillage settlements they own. This destroys 2 random buildings and gives wealth/manpower/tech points. Once all buildings are destroyed, the settlement is destroyed as well, creating more space for tribalism. Or go crazy, but that's not relevant to you. Okay, manpower is a nomadic thing. So essentially, if you would prefer an empty slot to the church there, I think there is a way to do it, but I'm not. Which is an action on the settlement.
So
it
what?
might be if you right click on that.
Not
Or
obviously.
if you open up the settlement window, but I think that just gives you the same set of stuff that
Yeah.
you know. Yes, it should be the same kind of object, same kind of thing as make a county capital.
But isn't. Okay. Well, what I'm...
Well, it doesn't. I mean, I was going to say essentially that this is a thing that might be useful, but like you might also like a church as a source of money, piety,
Yeah. So...
But you probably want to appoint someone to be its
Indeed.
priest.
Right. Thing is, I can give temples to women. Which is nice. Oh look, I can hold Great Blot. Let's not hold Great Blot. Let's go. I've got 387 piety.
Yeah, that's
So-
big.
Prestige, rather.
You've got 254 piety.
Yeah. But 388 prestige, which might mean that one day I can do the thing. Right, pause. Let's go and look and see if I can find anyone in Ireland who looks like that. Well, let's just check the religion map. Yeah. So Ireland is a great target.
You have useful cases spell outs still.
I think I can declare war against anywhere that's
Oh, right.
coastal.
You have a pagan coastal conquest
Thing. I don't think that works on things of my religion, but obviously on things of somebody else's religion, it's great. So you're a bit scary. You're slightly less scary. Right. Well. Let's just 500, so that's
Right,
nearly 800 of your earth stoats.
So Germanic pagans may target any coastal county that's of a different religion once the start of lightning age occurs.
Right.
Which is an 800. On success, 50 piety and 50 prestige.
Right. Let's... Ooh, you've got a pact. Who's your pact with? You have a count of Broek, who is quite a long way away. So I think we can probably do this as a kind of blitzkrieg effort.
Can you besiege everything he's got? Because your problem in Tirconnell was that you couldn't.
So that's 700. So it kind of depends on whether my wife turns up. That's 600. So yes, I should be able to, provided I don't lose too many in battle. Let's check other people on the coast. Let's not assume that this is the right thing to do. Because there may be...
That's only a non-aggression pact, or maybe someone that soft.
Yeah, but he's... yeah, so... Right. Let's take him then. Let's go for the conquest of Argyle. Right. Let's turn time down at least one notch. Let's invite my wife into the war, but, you know...
Yes, I think to mention, inviting someone into a war, I think slightly reduces their opinion of you each time you do it.
Okay. Well, how's my wife feeling about me? She actually likes me more than she did, like, 5 minutes ago, so, you know...
Possibly it's only if they agree, but they usually would.
Right, I'm going to have to raise both of my levies, both of my fleets, because with my pagan best mate, so that's not what that island is.
You've only got one of the fleets selected.
It's true. Let's go and find the other fleet, and then go, hey, I have this totally handy...
While the conquest is for a coastal county, we'll actually approach it overlap.
And because I happen to have a perfectly good... Oh my god, my wife might be coming to...
Well, you can see her, you get the ability to see what she can see.
Yes.
Whether that means she's actually going to provide any troops is another matter.
Yeah, but I have like 800 troops. We're fighting on plains, I might have river crossings as a thing. Right, technology. Oh, we nicked. Boring new technology. Come on, nick some military advances from something. I do now get slight generation. I've got 0.1 military technology from, I don't know, breathing. Right, so, 30 prestige, 10 piety. Use 10 gold, 10 piety. Right. There we are. Let's gain 30 piety by being nice to my wife during pregnancy. Piety, 30 prestige. Honestly. Jesus. So let's dispatch my other ship. Yes, I did, because otherwise... Right, there we are. Glue you lot together. Send you on a little trip. Oh, hang on, let's... Okay, can't raise any levies from it, which isn't entirely surprising, because...
Someone went and burned it to the ground.
Because they're probably a bit pissed off with me right now. But I am reinforcing while I'm in my county. Hey, I got 2 more soldiers out of it. This is not something to knock. That looks like that's going to be plains. That's going to be...
So you were on reasonably insanely organised, but there's probably one flank. Not quite.
Well, it's
not,
practically one flank.
It is now.
Hopefully I'm not going to lose too many people in this, because otherwise I'm going to struggle to besiege anywhere.
You might have to run home and reinforce for a little while.
Yes. Right, well I can at least besiege somewhere. Hooray. Right. I could probably dismiss my fleets, actually. Oh, a sun, a veritable sun. Well, let's go for Eric. Right, I have fulfilled the ambition to have a son. Let's pause, let's pick an ambition. Could improve my martial ability or try and become King of Norway. I'm a long way off becoming King of Norway, let's try and improve my martial skill. Right, yes. You need a guardian. You're my daughter. Right, let's assign you a guardian. Right, she looks quite good. Right, let's see if we can arrange betrothal with anyone good. Like you. Right. Let's see if we can get our pact going. Can I nominate my son? Let's see if we can nominate my son. Okay, we can nominate my son as my heir, which means I don't lose anything on succession at the moment. Right, now I need to kind of stop my wife from having more children, in particular having more sons. Right. Doof. And there, is that still on fire? Is there anything I can do to, like, cheer it up?
I don't think so. I think you really have to wait.
Right.
I think if you mouse over the various little icons at the bottom, so
That expires next year. It's on
fire.
fire.
It's got
New administration, which is depressing everything for a long time.
probably levy size minus 200% until October this year.
Yeah. Right. So, where are you going? Are you going to try and besiege somewhere of mine? Because if you are, I think that's going to be hilarious. And I'd much rather you did, because then that gives me a good excuse to stop besieging Ardmore, I think, and go and kick you in Tyrconnell, which will get me my remaining more score, probably. Yep. Right. Off we go. So, yes, they do have a defensive advantage from being in hills, but it turns out not nearly enough of one. %100% war score. Release, and this is important, the otter. Ding! Right, so... Temple of Armor. Right, let's go and look at my courtiers again. Right. Oh dear, something's happened to my marshal. I guess it has to be you. Let's see if we can invite someone. well, we can at least invite someone to, manage my armies, who is at least halfway competent. Right, let's get you training troops. Let's not give commandership to anyone, you're all a bit rubbish. So I'm right up against my demean limit at the moment.
Increase that by getting more stewardship mostly.
Yes. Right, well.
But ideally, you would get yourself a duchy.
Yes. Let's have a look at...
Duchy, but you need one more county than I think. Ulster is a duchy, and you need one more county to get Ulster.
So... Right. He's fairly tough, but...
This may not be as
But... I have 500 prestige. So I can...
You can only actually do that when you start the war.
Start the war. So I could let my levies recover a little bit, because I am a bit under. What I'm going to do, though, is let my levies recover while I'm watching him to check that he doesn't do anything exciting. And of course, if any of the things that cause us to get more levies, magic levies, out of things happen, then I will probably do that. How's my finances? Dire. Right. Okay. So he's basically being extremely boring. However, I'm basically being very slow to get my levies back. Right. You can tell me I can hold Great Plot. I can hold Great Plot. Thank you so much. It's just what I wanted. But he's 51, so he's probably not imminently about to drop dead. But may do so fairly shortly. While we're waiting for our levies to recover a bit more, let's go and see if there. Oh, I can't rat so many prisoners. How very disappointing. Nothing bad is happening to Ulster, like them discovering the concept of more troops. That would be quite bad. In theory, I can raise another 100 troops from my domain somehow. If I wait. but that's probably going to take a while. Right, got a new guy in charge with potential for rather more levies. I think we should go and get him before he gets too scary and while he might have somewhat. So, right, let's declare war on him to conquer Ulster. Let's call in my allies. Right, so let's lose all of that lot. Ships is
yes, I think, as I recall, that tribal army will evaporate the moment, either the moment this war ends or the moment you are at peace. I don't know which.
right. I have a small problem.
You don't have enough ships?
Yeah.
Well, you can probably carve up the tribal army a little bit.
I can't.
Oh, is it not 3 things of some useful fraction?
Doesn't look like it.
Ooh.
No.
And you can't get 25 ships together?
No.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
This may seem like a silly idea. Can you declare war on Nidaros? You may have to dismiss your levies, but, like, if you
I can't raise my tribal army again.
I don't know if your tribal army prevents you declaring war.
That's true. So let's dismiss my personal levies.
I don't know, but this is like...
Okay, right, well, let's give it a go.
Like, you may have to surrender the other war. Or you may be able to get enough ships or deplete your tribal army enough that you can move it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm going to give this a go. I mean, if it looks like it's going too badly. Let's just check what surrender does in this one. I lose 200 prestige. White piece is...
So
lose
you
100
end up
prestige.
with an embarrassingly negative prestige for a while.
Yes. Right. Okay. Right. Let's just look in the military ships tab in case there's any ships hiding that I can't. I can do something with. Right, let's glue you together. I think we assault that holding. Then we march over there. We'll definitely march over there. I mean, if I'm lucky, these guys will come over to attack me here. I can do a bunch of fighting here. Then I can ship people back to somewhere sensible. I think I'll probably go for assaulting this as well. Got 10 to 1 superiority. Right. Now, let's march you lot over there. Also, why? Okay, apparently I'm the only one that can lead this army. Something has gone wrong with my command structure again.
You don't have a commander. I think, or did you eventually want one?
I appointed one. Appointed a new one.
Who are they?
I don't know, they don't appear to be showing up. Well, it's possible that they vanished again like an old oak table. So...
Okay, so he's your steward.
Ah,
so
my steward. Yeah, right,
and
fine.
won't be able to be a commander.
That's good reason.
If you take him off his currently assigned steward task, then you'll be able to make him actually lead an army. I have a thing to suggest,
Yes.
which is that if your army is currently larger than you need, you might want to dismiss your levies, because when this war ends, you will lose those 2,500 troops, or however many of them you have left. And
Yeah.
what you have left after that is what you'll have to defend your holdings.
Yeah. Okay, let's...
So if you can afford to run on the tribal army,
Yeah.
use just the tribal army and let your levies recover and not get killed.
I will do once I get back into my territory.
Oh yeah, of course there is that. Probably not mid-battle
And I can't
either.
dismiss it mid-battle, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a... This you're not going to lose many of your levies in this anyway.
Where are you going? We'll
Run
go
round
to
and round Iceland.
That's right, back we go. Over there. Hoping that if I win a battle with 855 troops that I'll manage to get up to 100% war score and then go and deal with my small problem in Ulster. It's not the usual Northern Ireland problem.
The problem with my army is too large to fit in my ships.
Which is an interesting and novel
But
problem.
I'm not allowed to dismiss just part of the army.
Yes.
I'm hoping I can kill off enough of my army.
That I can put them in a goddamn ship.
I mean, you could just send your own levies over there, which might be enough.
It's only about 500 and they have like 1,000. So... I can become brave. I can become brave by being potentially injured. How much worse a duel am I? Lots worse, right? Let's go for I will accept any injury if it protects West Iceland. Right. Irksomely, that's neither...
Neither reduced your army enough, nor won you the war.
Yeah. And I've hit minus 100% in the war with Ulster.
Oh dear.
So I kind of need to win this war so I have some prestige in order to deal with going potentially negative in...
I don't think it's particularly bad to have negative prestige.
Well, except insofar as I can't do anything. 99% more score. Right, they're going
You
back.
may be able to get them to surrender.
Surrender. Can I get you to surrender? Offer peace.
No.
No. Right, shuttle you back across there because I still can't put you on the bloody ships.
You could raise your levies and ship them to Ulster. I don't know. Oh, well, too late.
Yeah.
Minus 129
prestige.
Still, you're going to get Nidaros out of this.
I'm going to get Nidaros out of this, so...
Which is bigger than Ulster.
Which is indeed bigger than Ulster, but...
I've kind of forgotten just how big the Tribal Army is.
And that will get me a duchy.
That will get you the Duchy of Iceland, yeah.
Yeah.
You can become Duke of Iceland or High Chief of Iceland, probably.
Hopefully I can do this and get...
Hell, you'll become... you might become High Chief of Nidaros as well, initially.
Well, let's find out.
Because I think that's the duchy.
Right, where are you lot going? They're going to Eastland. On account of the fact that they're still running away from me. I'm still running around after them, going, hello! Are you interested in surrendering yet? I can probably tell my ships to go home. At least I haven't lost any territory in Ireland.
You had an embarrassing thing and everyone is now laughing at you.
It's true.
They'll not be laughing for much longer once you own the whole of Iceland.
It's true. I am currently that total joke.
Who raised such a big army you couldn't fit it in
Two
your
ships.
That certainly sounds like some kind of a Norse story.
Yes, well... Yeah. Right. Hooray. I'm now down to a mere minus 24.
I think that army will vanish now, but maybe I'm confused. If you unpause, it may just disappear. Yes, there it goes.
Vanished like an old
So,
table.
notably, that vanished when you were at peace, not when you finished the war for which you in which you raised it.
I have a small problem here, which is I can't create the Duchy of Iceland because I have no cash.
Yes. Oh well. But you are now. Okay. What titles do you have? Oh God, you've got
7 chiefdoms.
7 chiefdoms and no money. Right. Well then.
I am threatening. 6% threatening.
Well, I'm inclined to say that once you've tidied up your fleet, might be a good time to stop for the night, and then on the next occasion we can go. How the hell do we get out of this?
Yeah.
Chief of 6 chiefdoms who can't be a high chief because she hasn't got the money for it.
I've got no cash. So yes, what does demean too big? Inefficient taxation. The problem is I can't give those away.
No. I mean, I think this may be a raid. Raiding will get you some cash. How much do you need to make a...
151.
Find 151 gold, though that will drop as you get more piety.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
But yes, so you need to find another 110 gold.
Yes. So I think what I do is I dismiss my fleets, and then so potentially how many people have I got? I now have potentially up to like 800 people eventually.
And if you set your whichever it is marshal on organised raid, then they will. Okay, they're currently doing that.
No, they're
train
troops.
Which also gains you extra people. So
Yeah.
you're only at 3% yearly because they have fairly poor marshals.
Yeah.
Actually better to keep them training troops.
It's a little bit dubious, yes. I'm just going to let that time run a little bit while we think about things, because that will also drop my threat. While we contemplate. And yeah, so I think I'm probably going to have to go raiding. I can go raiding
another
earlier.
approach to having too large a domain is simply to grant independence to the ones you don't. Yes. Actually, that would just be done by making them landed, granting the land to people. And then, of course, you might be able to take it back later. But
Yeah.
I suspect that's unnecessary.
What I want to do is...
I mean, you've already got 6 of those 110.
Yeah.
extra money you need.
I mean, yes, and because now I'm not busy spending money. I get 1 gold a month, so.
So like it will sort itself in a decade.
Yeah, but I can sort it faster if I go raiding. And I'm slowly recruiting people back into my army.
But yes, I think there the from vassals is utter rubbish. In that because you are a tribal leader with low tribal organisation,
Yeah.
you can't raise troops from your vassals, and because they are non-tribal vassals, they won't join your war as allies.
Well, Bravenose founded a defensive pact against me. I mean, like, fair,
Probably a good place to do it if you're going to.
and it's now been disbanded.
Yes, that didn't take long.
Yes.
Well, you presumably just dropped below,
Below
5%.
5%. Yeah. Right, I think it's probably time to save and stop. The year is 1880.
880.
Sorry, 880. Snooze. I just got an extra 1,000 years there. Right, good night,